Hey guys, what is up? Sam or Scorpio here, bringing you guys a video, giving you guys my personal highlights for EA's keynote at E3 2018. So this is going to be breaking down the highlights in my opinion. This is how I wanted to handle E3 this year, instead of just streaming it and you guys watching my face just get excited or generally bored in some points, as I found here, particularly during the sports kind of section, you know, with FIFA. Not really up my street personally. And yeah, I thought I'd just make my top 5 highlights videos. I'll probably do these for each of the developers, depending on how it goes. So yeah, let's get right into the list. So coming in at number 5, we have the surprise reveal and release of Unravel 2. Now, Unravel was a platformer game that came out a couple of years back. It was a single player kind of puzzle game about basically a ball of yarn who uses thread to solve puzzles and manipulate the world around him. And the game is back with a brand new sequel out today. That was a surprise announcement. I don't think anyone really saw that coming. They just said it's dropping today, PS4, Xbox One and PC. You can go and purchase that now. I believe it's $19.99, so yeah, if you want to go and purchase that, you can do now. The difference in this game is it's actually a co-op adventure where there's 2 yarnies and you can either play it single player or with a friend, so you can work together to solve the puzzles or continue to do it on your own if that is what you prefer. To me, the reason that this was so surprising and exciting is just the fact that while, you know, an Unravel sequel wasn't the most outlandish idea that could have happened, the fact that they just came out there and said, we're dropping this today, just made it so surprising. I personally didn't play the first game, but I just think the shock factor there definitely added to it, and that's why that takes the number 5 spot. Coming in at number 4, we have the reveal of a brand new subscription service coming to PC only, known as Origin Access Premier. Now this is coming later this year, we believe around the summer kind of time, and basically what this is going to be is it's going to be like Origin Access, where you get access to a whole vault of library of releases and you can play them as much as you want and you basically own them for the monthly or yearly price you pay. But with this, you'll be getting access to brand new EA releases. So that's going to include the new Madden game coming to PC this year for the first time, the new FIFA game, the new Battlefield and Anthem, and that's going to be $15 a month, I believe, or $100 a year. So it's a little bit pricier than Origin Access, which is only $5 a month or $30 a year. But I mean, for the benefit you're getting, I guess, of not having to buy these brand new releases that will cost you $60 a piece, I think that's definitely a big saving there. So if they're 4 games that you're looking to pick up and you're looking forward to, you know, checking out some of EA's bigger library of releases, including some of their older ones, then yeah, this may be a subscription service for you. I just find this a really cool idea, you know, the idea of not having to, you know, pay for all these releases. And this is a fairly substantial saving you'll be making here, honestly. A solid, you know, if you're interested in all of them, I mean, over a year, you'll be saving $120. I mean, if assuming you'd only play them for the year, I mean, you might play them longer. But I'm not sure. Anthem will be something we go into a bit later on. Further down this list, they also announced that they're working on streaming services where you'll actually be able to stream EA games. And while it's not quite ready to be released yet, you know, it's coming. And I think that's quite interesting because we saw a Ubisoft person talking earlier this week actually about how they think streaming games is the future instead of, you know, having more console generations. I think this is definitely showing a step in that direction, honestly, of streaming taking the forefront of the gaming industry. Obviously, as internet connections get faster, that's becoming more and more possible, so I think that shows a very different kind of step forward in technology, which is why this whole new EA services expansion they've got going on here comes in at the number 4 spot. Taking the number 3 spot was a reveal that I was hoping we were going to see, and we did in a minor capacity. It wasn't a big reveal, we just kind of heard a few teasers of it, which is Respawn Entertainment, the makers of Titanfall's brand new Star Wars game, which has been announced to be titled Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Now, a few details we knew about this game before is that it was going to be a single player action adventure game in the Star Wars universe, and obviously now we have details on it. So basically we have a whole press release here, but I'll just break down the highlights for you. Basically it covers a surviving Padawan, which is like a Jedi apprentice in the universe, and it's going to be set in between episode 3 and 4, so I'm guessing this is going to be, spoiler alert, after all the Jedi have been killed. So it's going to be following maybe 1 or 2 survivors of that and following them generally. I mean, since they're a Padawan, it means they're probably younger, so I guess it's kind of them growing up and training and learning to become a Jedi, and that game will be releasing holiday next year. Now that's basically all we know about it, and I personally am really excited for this because I'm a big fan of Star Wars games. I think a lot can be done with them. I love the Force Unleashed games. Not quite as big a fan of Battlefront, honestly, because, you know, it just feels a lot like Battlefield. But this is the kind of thing I was wanting to see, you know, a proper Star Wars story where they can do something really interesting with it. And I think that's why it comes at number 3 spot, just because there's a lot of potential here, and I personally love Titanfall, so I have faith that those makers can do the Star Wars brand justice in 2019. Coming in at number 2 is something I think everyone saw coming. I mean, well, at least most people did. I mean, with the growth of this brand, there was no surprise this was going to be a thing. Battlefield Battle Royale, I think it's just called Battlefield Royale, will be coming to the game. We know very little about it other than the fact it will cover Battlefield's kind of traditional formula, so you're going to have the destructible environment that I think is going to make for really exciting stuff, honestly. Maybe, I mean, we know the game has that whole fortification and building structures kind of system in the multiplayer side. You know, we can build your defenses. Maybe the Battle Royale mode could incorporate that to have some Fortnite-like mechanics. Not in the same kind of way, obviously, but in the Battlefield kind of way. It's going to be first person, it's going to have the destructible environment, probably going to be a big map, it's probably going to have vehicles. I mean, Battlefield have been doing high player counts before anyone else, you know, they've been doing 64 player games since Battlefield 4, so I think there's a lot to be done here. And yeah, that's why that's in the number 2 spot. And coming in at number 1, I mean, this was a pretty lackluster press conference, honestly. There was a few highlights, but how could it not be? The Anthem gameplay and release date. That game's going to be coming from the makers of BioShock in February 22nd, 2019. Now the game, we saw the gameplay, and in my opinion at least, I think it looks really awesome. I've heard some very positive things about it, honestly. We know that there's going to be no loot boxes. There will be cosmetics, but they did confirm that when you're buying cosmetics, you know what you're buying. You're not just buying a loot box which will give you a random item. You're picking an item to buy and you're buying it, and to me that is brilliant. EA, a company that have long been called money whores and just generally desperate for your money, have finally actually been the ones who have taken a big step forward in this industry, honestly, with their removal of loot boxes and the premium pass inside of Battlefield, and now obviously no loot box in this. Star Wars Battlefront is reinventing their systems to, you know, reduce the kind of, you know, pay-to-play aspect of the loot boxes that got a lot of complaints. So to me that's very exciting, but the gameplay, it just looks awesome. It looks like a big sci-fi futuristic game where you take advantage of mech kind of things, which I believe are known as javelins in this game, and you play co-op missions, so you can either play co-op or you can play with it solo, I mean, if you want to. I mean, they did stress that, you know, co-op will be the encouraged way, it's the way they recommend you play, but there is still very much the single player option there, and to me that's awesome. You know, this idea of a hostile future which you can experience either solo or with friends. I think that's a great choice to give players that option. And yeah, I think this game shows a lot of potential, kind of a Destiny, Warframe kind of hybrid, and yeah, that's why that's coming in at the number 1 spot. And that's going to wrap up the video, guys. I hope everyone has enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to leave a like down below to show your support. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're excited about coming in the future. What was your favourite reveal of E3 2018's EA conference? Make sure to let me know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for all my E3 coverage. Bye!